Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are on the docket for Wednesday morning civil docket. It is July 7th, 2021. We'll take quick announcements. Use your reaction button to raise your hand. Okay, Attorney Greg Lopez.
Good morning, Judge. I am here on number 15. It is a motion for citation by posting on a divorce.
Okay, that is F 2271-21-9 in the matter of the marriage of Juan Gonzalez versus Leticia Hernandez Reyes.
Judge, I represent Mr. Juan Gonzalez. We filed a motion to allow us to, for citation by posting. We've attached an affidavit and we're asking that the court sign the order allowing it.
Okay, right now I do not have access to my system. They're having to reset it from IT, so I will need to ask you in that affidavit, your client is stating, when is the last time that he has seen his wife, or what's the information on that affidavit?
The affidavit that's filed with the court with the motion indicates that my client has not known about his wife's whereabouts for the past 15 years, that they were married on or about the spring of 2006, and that approximately 2 days after they got married, they were separated. And he indicates in his affidavit that no children were born during the marriage, but of course he hasn't seen her for 15 years, and that they did not acquire any property. And also he has gone to his wife's mom's residence, which was 1026 and a half Street in McAllen, because he thought he would find her there. He discovered that nobody lives there anymore. And he doesn't know anywhere else to look for his wife.
Okay. Then your motion for citation by publication will be granted as well. I need you to file an order appointing an ad litem for the missing respondent.
All right, Your Honor.
Okay, is your order granting on file with the court?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
Okay, then I'll have that forwarded to my queue.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, anything else?
That's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Attorney Veronica Sepúlveda Martinez.
Good morning, Your Honor. I have number 26 on your docket.
Okay, that is CL 201767-I, Sonia Garza versus 99 Cents Only Stores. Okay, what is your announcement, Counselor?
Your Honor, Veronica Sepúlveda Martinez for the plaintiff. I believe the defense counsel is also present, Michael Griffin. We've come to an agreement. This was defendant's motion to compel some medical and billing records. We can submit an agreed order to the court that I provide those records. They have been requested and paid for. We're just waiting for them to process.
Okay, go ahead and submit that agreed order, and then we'll request it from the clerk's office.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else?
That's
all, Your Honor.
Certainly may. Have a good day. Okay. Mr. Drabeck?
Morning, Your Honor. I do not know what number it is on your docket, but it's CL 20-2362I, Sophia Rubio versus Sam's Club.
Number 37, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that is CL 20-2362-I, Sophia Rubio versus Sam's East Inc. And what is the announcement?
The case is settled, Judge. Yes.
Okay, Mr. Perez, let me let Mr. Drabeck.
Yes, Judge.
Mr. Pettis is correct. The case is settled.
Okay. And how much time do you need to submit the final documents?
We've already received them, Judge, so we probably take probably a week to get it back to Mr. Drabeck's client.
Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and set a tickler for July the 23rd, just to make sure that everything has been submitted by then.
Okay, good.
Okay, anything else, gentlemen?
That'll be all, Judge. May we be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Attorney Jesus Hernandez?
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on number 32 on your docket, Judge.
Okay, one moment. CL 181527-I, Melba Cross Jr. versus Isabel Duarte Viana et al. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, I believe Mr. Solis is also present. We've done everything, basically, in this case, mediation has been held, was not successful. Give us a trial date or a DCC date, I'm sorry, Judge, so we can get this on the trial docket.
That's correct, Your Honor. David Solis on behalf of Mr. Cross. I did see Mr. Seelhoff representing one of the other co-defendants also involved in the call. And what Mr. Hernandez represented is accurate. We're just ready for a DCC.
Good morning, Your Honor. Scott Seelhoff from My Morning
I don't
Star.
know.
Okay, and how long ago did you all mediate this, gentlemen?
I want to say 2019, Judge.
Okay. What we'll do is I'm going to give you an additional status conference date at which time I should be prepared to give you a date for a DCC, and we should have already the trial dates that will be available to us. So I'm going to set you for a status hearing on September the 29th. At
9:30, Your Honor.
Yes, at 9:30 a.m. And then we should be able to give you a better guidance at that time.
Very well, Judge. I believe that's all we have.
Okay.
Maybe.
Okay, do any of you have any other additional announcements?
No, not on behalf of myself, Your Honor. Maybe excuse.
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge. You have a good
Thank
day.
you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Attorney Gary Brueggemann.
Good morning, Judge. I don't have an announcement. I've got a default judgment, so I thought that would be appropriate.
What is the number on the docket?
Oh, my apologies. Docket number 17, Judge.
Okay, that is CL 21-0751-I, Discover Bank versus Virginia Lathrop.
That's correct.
Okay, let me just have her name called out 3 times. Mr. Damian?
Virginia M. Lathrop. Virginia Lathrop. Virginia Lathrop.
Okay, the name being called out 3 times and no response. You may proceed.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of the contents of its file, including but not limited to the default motion with the attachments, which include the business records affidavit, cardholder agreement, and cardholder statements. I'd ask that be admitted for all purposes right now.
Okay, the court will take judicial notice of all the documents in the court's file and will admit those into evidence.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, we're not aware of any answer. It looks like the service occurred on or about 3:30 this year. I've directed the court to the business records affidavit of Discover Products, Inc., where the affiant, Jennifer Plageman, proves up the existence of the account, the default thereof. Following that affidavit is the cardholder agreement and account statements liquidating and proving up our damages in the amount of $10,242.19. It's the principal amount. We are not seeking prejudgment interest. We are not seeking attorney's fees. We are seeking post-judgment interest and costs. And a proposed form of order was e-filed on or about May 5th. My apologies, May 6th. We ask for judgment as prayed for.
Okay, the court will grant your motion for default judgment and grant the relief as requested. And I will ask for that order that you filed on May the 6th to be forwarded to the court.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
Okay, anything else?
Not before this court, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Attorney Nicholas Denzer?
Good morning, Judge. Number 14 on your docket.
Good morning. Okay. That is CL 21-0501-I, Ramiro Gonzalez et al. Versus Jose Guerra et al. Go ahead.
And it's with Ms. Danielle Rodriguez. She's opposing counsel. They filed a motion for substitute service on a defendant that I do not represent, and we're unopposed to their motion.
Okay, Ms. Rodriguez, are you present?
Yes, Your Honor. Danielle Rodriguez for the plaintiffs, Ramiro Gonzalez and Ramon de la Fuente Medina. I filed a motion for substitute service on an additional defendant, Defendant Cesar Rosales. And I've attached an affidavit by our process server. So if the court can take judicial notice of that. He's been unable to serve the defendant at that address. There's I guess a gate blocking the door, and he hasn't been able to, I guess, serve that defendant. So we're asking that the court allow the process server to serve it's an amended petition with anyone more than 16 years of age at that address, or to post the citation and petition on the gate.
Okay,
And we have submitted a proposed order.
okay, the court will take judicial notice of the documents, specifically the affidavit that is on file, and I'll grant your motion for substitute service. I'll ask for that to be forwarded to my queue.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, anything else?
No, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good day.
Likewise. Attorney Carlos Galvan?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have number 23 on your docket.
Okay, good morning. That is CL 203322-I, Jose Humberto Ramos Rivera et al. Versus Andres Sainz. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Your Honor, this is opposing counsel's motion to compel deposition dates. I believe it was a little premature. We're still conducting written discovery, and they have not requested deposition dates in writing.
That's not accurate, Your Honor. We have back in February, phone calls in March and April were made. On top of that, all written discovery has been completed. All of our answers have been e-filed to Mr. Galvan's office. Nothing is premature. I'm trying to move the case and get deposition set.
And like I said, Your Honor, our information is different. I don't have any written communication from Mr. Guerra's office. But like I said, we're willing to work with him and communicate and get some dates in order.
I have the email up from February to Mr. Galvan asking for deposition dates in the future, Your Honor.
Okay, I'm going to give you, I obviously do not have access to your calendars, and I'm going to give you an opportunity to confer regarding this motion and see what dates work for y'all. Mr. Galvan stating that he doesn't have an issue in having his clients appear. So I'm going to hold this motion over until August the 16th at 9:30. If y'all get it worked out by then, just file a Rule 11 or agreed order. If not, then we'll take it up at that time.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have. Maybe excuse.
Yes.
Same here. Thank you. Have a great day.
Likewise. Okay, Attorney Michael J. Guerra.
Good morning, Your Honor. Number 22 on your docket.
Okay, that is CO 195690-I, Santiago Alvarez et al. Versus Berenice Rosales et al. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Good morning, Your Honor. Mario Garcia on behalf of the plaintiffs.
And Michael Guerra here on behalf of the defendants, Your Honor.
Your Honor, this is plaintiff's attorney's motion to withdraw from this case, specifically as to plaintiff Ignacio Pacheco. Mr. Pacheco has not communicated with myself or the former attorney on this case, Jose Ramirez, for the last 2 years. He has failed to cooperate with us in trying to prosecute this case and trying to help us go forward and try to get this case resolved. I have sent a copy of this motion and a copy of the order setting hearing date for today to the last known address for plaintiff Ignacio Pacheco by certified mail and regular mail. And they have not been returned. He's basically ignored plaintiff's attorney again for the last 2 years. In talking to a co-plaintiff, Mr. Ramon Pacheco Jr., who happens to be his nephew, he told me that Mr. Ignacio Pacheco had left the United States for Mexico and indicated he would not return. So therefore, we're asking the court to grant plaintiff's attorney's motion to withdraw as attorneys of record specifically for plaintiff Ignacio Pacheco.
Okay, any opposition from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Then your motion to withdraw will be granted, Mr. Garcia.
Thank you.
Is
Your
there an
Honor.
order on file?
Yes, it was filed on June 1st. It should be in the court's file for signing. And just to let the court know, the other three plaintiffs have settled the case, so I'll be filing a notice of non-suit today as to the remaining three plaintiffs, Your Honor.
Okay, then what I'll do is I'll set a tickler just for July the 23rd, just to make sure that that has been filed and we can set it and we can remove it as disposed.
And Your Honor, for the court's knowledge, this defendant, I mean, this plaintiff, I'm sorry, that was still unavailable. The court ordered and granted a dismissal for warrant of prosecution back in early June. And he was the remaining plaintiff that hadn't shown up at all. And we were here today for Mr. Garcia's motion.
Okay. Okay. Anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
That's all I have. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Attorney Mauro Ruiz.
Good morning, Your Honor. We're number 30 on your docket. Opposing counsel Paul Simon is participating in this Zoom hearing as well.
Okay, one moment. CL 195846-I, Sandra Guerra versus Discovery Clinical Trials LLC et al. And what is the announcement?
Your Honor, we're here on a status conference. Previously, this case was being handled by County Court of Law number 1, Judge Gonzalez, and it was transferred to your court. And the former hearing that we were going to have a motion for DCC got converted into this status conference order from this court.
Yes. Because I'm not giving out DCC dates at this time. We're not prepared to do that until later on in September.
Okay.
So that's why I wanted to know what was going on with this case as far as discovery and where we were, if you all were really ready for trial.
Your Honor, this case has been worked up, as the court knows, in an employment matters. We had to exhaust our remedies through the Texas Commission on Civil Rights. We have taken the plaintiffs and I believe a corporate rep deposition as well, and there may be a need for maybe another defense witness. But I understand some people are no longer employed by the defendant, so that may pose a difficulty in announcing ready for any trial anytime soon, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Simon?
Yes, Your Honor. Yeah, I agree with what Mr. Ruiz has said. He has not asked for those depositions, but I believe, yeah, some of the witnesses that were employed by my client are no longer employed. So once we get from Mr. Ruiz who he wants to depose, we can work with him to locate them and get this matter, you know, at least the discovery portion completed.
Okay, and what about mediation?
Well, Your Honor, I'm generally always open to mediation. However, given the series of offers, unrequested offers, I don't see a lot of hope, Your Honor, to be quite honest with you at this point. I don't know under what conditions this court would be willing to waive mediation. But if the court orders us, we will follow the court's order.
Okay, well, just so you know, almost no conditions. So mediation will occur at some point. And so how much time do you think you all need to conclude your discovery process?
I would say probably be safe 6 months, Your Honor.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to lose track of y'all. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to bring you back on October the 27th, and let's see where you're at 9:30. And that'll be your second status. And hopefully you've moved along in the discovery process and are closer to attend mediation. And then we should even be able to give you maybe a DCC date at that time if necessary. If I see we're at that point.
Okay.
Okay, other than that, then just come back on October the 27th at 9:30 for an additional status conference.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Attorney Calabal.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here on a motion for default. It's number 18 on your docket.
Okay, CO 19697-I, One Main Financial Group versus Erica Limon. Mr. Damian, can I please have Ms. Limon's name called out 3 times?
Yes, ma'am. Erica Limon. Erica Limon. Erica Limon.
Okay, Mr. Ball, her name being called out 3 times, no response. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, I'd ask the court to take judicial notice of its file, including that Ms. Limon was served on February 6th of 2020. In our motion for default, we have submitted the account level document showing that this was a loan that was opened on March 11, 2015. The last payment was made on August 11, 2017.
Mr. Ball, you froze. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and recall this case. Oh wait, Mr. Ball, you unfroze. So the last thing we heard was that payment was last made and then I didn't get the date.
Sorry, Your Honor. The last payment was made on August 11, 2017. 2017, it was charged off on March 1st, 2018, and the amount owed on this account is $5,133.54. We'd ask the court to grant judgment in that amount plus cost of court.
Okay, and has the order been filed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, then the court will grant the relief as requested and will ask for that order granting to be forwarded to my queue.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have before you this morning. May I be excused?
You certainly may. Thank you. Attorney Darlene Vale?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm here for a prove up, Your Honor. I already have my opposing counsel apologizes to the court, but he is caught in a contested hearing that started at 8 a.m. and gave me permission to proceed without him.
Okay, and what number is that?
Your Honor, that's number 2 on your docket.
Judge Julia Hernandez with the Attorney General also present on number 2.
Okay, that's F2208-20-9 in the matter of the marriage of Henry Alcocer Jr. versus Amanda Sanchez Alcocer. Are the parties on?
I don't know, Your Honor.
Okay, let me see. Henry Alcocer, are you present?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Alcocer, can you please turn your camera on?
I don't have no camera.
Okay, so is Miss Amanda Alcocer present?
Yes.
Okay, and let me see. Okay, and Miss
Yes,
Hernandez, are you in agreement in proceeding this morning?
Yes, Your Honor, we're ready.
Okay, then let me have Mr. Alcocer and Miss Alcocer raise your right hand. Okay, do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Mr. Henry Alcocer?
Yes.
And Miss Amanda Alcocer?
Yes.
Okay, then Miss Vale, you may proceed.
Okay, Your Honor, I'd like to call Amanda Alcocer, also known now as Amanda Sanchez.
Okay.
Ms. Sanchez, just for the record, you have been a resident of Hidalgo County and the state of Texas for more than 6 months to the prior of the filing of this divorce. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's Dow County, Texas. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
You have one child with Mr. Alcocer known as Anisha Marie Alcocer. Is that correct?
Yes.
You are not at this time, and I don't mean to imply anything, ma'am, but these questions need to be asked. You're not expecting any other child. There is no other child adopted. This is the only child of the marriage. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you and Mr. Alcocer are asking the court to grant a divorce on basically insupportability, which is like irreconcilable difference or no fault. Is that
Yes.
correct, ma'am? And you're asking the court to also acknowledge, and this has already been acknowledged in another cause number, that there are two children, because you and Mr. Alcocer have been separated for a very long time. Is that correct?
Yes.
And there are two children named Hector Luis Zamora Jr. and Alea Grace Zamora, and those are not children of the marriage. And that has already been identified in another cause number with the Attorney General. Is that correct?
Yes.
You and him have reached an agreement as to your conservatorship. Is that correct?
Yes.
You will have the child, and we've laid out the rights on a divorce decree that you have signed. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And that's pursuant to a mediation agreement. Is that correct?
Yes.
And in there, we also went through the Attorney General's to set up child support based on the children that he has and what he's earning at present. Is that correct?
Yes.
In addition to that, we also set up the cost, because the child right now is on government aid. Is that correct? For
Yes.
health insurance. And we've set up that he is supposed to pay a certain amount of cash medical support.
Yes.
Is that correct? And then in addition to there was a granting of a child support arrearage judgment. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And that is also, you've agreed to the payments that he will be made through this. Is that correct?
Yes.
And outside of that, you've made an agreement. You don't have any real estate with each other. Is that correct?
Yes.
And there's none been acquired that you are aware of. Is that correct?
Yes.
And basically, you're staying with the goods that each of one of you has. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And there is a custom possession order because Mr. Alcocer does not know your daughter as well. Is that correct?
Yes.
That he is involved before he gets a standard possession order. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
Now, this is all embodied in the divorce decree that you have signed. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And it's embodied with the mediated settlement agreement that we did. Is that correct, ma'am?
Yes.
And you're asking the court to grant this divorce decree because you think it is in the best interest for your daughter. You think it's the best way to resolve the differences between you and Mr. Alcocer. You have given it thought, and certainly you have received legal counsel on this. Is that correct, Ms. Alcocer?
Yes.
And you are satisfied with my services, Mrs. Alcocer?
Yes.
Okay, and so you're asking the court to grant the divorce decree today on the grounds of insupportability, and there is no possibility of reconciliation. Both of you have moved on to different lives already. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you're asking the court to grant the personal items as outlined in the divorce decree, the visitation, and the conservatorship as outlined in the divorce decree. Is that
Yes.
correct? And you're asking the court to sign the divorce decree. Your Honor, we have the court take note that this divorce decree was filed yesterday and was approved for acceptance in envelope number 55087867. And it does contain the signatures of the parties and the attorneys, Your Honor, except I think for the maybe the Attorney General's, because we just didn't have time to get hers. But we did use the language as she suggested and the numbers that she recommended, Your Honor. And she should have gotten a copy of that.
I did.
Okay. And so you're asking the court to grant this divorce, sign this divorce decree, and so we can all go on our way. Is that correct, ma'am? Is there anything that I have left out, ma'am?
No.
Okay. We have nothing further, Your Honor, except for a very minor question of Mr. Alcocer, Henry Alcocer.
Okay. And Mr. Alcocer, please listen to the question that Ms. Vale is going to ask.
Mr. Alcocer, are you online, sir?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Alcocer, you've read, you've heard what I told the court. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're not in disagreement with that. Is that correct, sir?
No.
And you too are asking the court to grant this divorce. Is that correct?
Yes.
And on the terms, and you've signed off and you worked out with the attorney generals, and you are also satisfied with your attorney services. Is that correct, sir?
Yes.
Okay. I have nothing further, Your Honor. Pass the witnesses to the AGs if they wish.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez, do you have any questions of either witness?
No, Your Honor, nothing from the state.
Okay. Then the court will approve the terms of the divorce as read into the record and testified to by Ms. Sanchez, and is set forth in further detail in the divorce decree that was e-filed yesterday. And I will ask for that to be forwarded to my queue. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. And I do have the envelope number if the court wants the envelope number again.
If it's been accepted, it's okay. It should be already ready for the queue, for the clerk just to forward it to my queue.
All right, Your Honor, that's fine.
Okay, best of luck to both of you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. If I may be excused, Your Honor, I have nothing further.
You certainly may. Okay, Attorney Albert Barbosa.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on number 7 on the court's docket.
That is 4587-20-9 in the matter of the marriage of Noé Sanchez Arellano versus Abril Escalante Acosta.
My client should be on. It should be a quick prove up. The only thing is we will need the services of interpreter, Your Honor.
Okay, and Ms. Acosta, is she represented by counsel?
She is not, Judge. She did sign a waiver that we filed with the court, and she did sign off on the decree, which we also filed with the court, I believe, yesterday or the day before, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Arellano, are you present?
I believe I saw him on a little while ago, Judge.
Sí. Okay, I think he's under another name, that's why. Mr. Arellano, por favor, ¿puede aprender su cámara? Gracias. Okay, and ¿está presente Abril Acosta?
Sí.
Ok, por favor, ¿puede prender su cámara? Ok, gracias. Necesito que escuchen, por favor, van a traducir lo que van a decir, ¿ok? Ok, Ms. Castañeda,
Yes, ma'am.
are you ready? Okay, please raise your right hand.
Por favor, levanten su mano derecha.
Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Juran que el testimonio que están a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, please tell Ms. Escalante to please unmute herself.
Ms. Escalante, ¿puede quitar la bocina, por favor? ¿Puede prender la bocina?
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Barbosa, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. We just asked the court to take judicial notice of all documents on file, including the waiver that was filed back in May 7th, 2021.
Okay, so take it.
Thank you, Judge. Mr. Sanchez, could you please state your full name?
Mr. Sánchez, por favor, diga su nombre completo.
Noé Sánchez Arellano.
Noé Sánchez Arellano.
Mr. Sanchez, have you lived in the state of Texas for the last 6 months and in Hidalgo County for the last 3 months?
Mr. Sánchez, ¿ha vivido usted en el condado de Hidalgo por los últimos 90 días y en el estado de Texas por los últimos 90 días y en el condado de Hidalgo por los últimos 90 días?
Sí.
Yes.
Are you the same Noé Sanchez that was married to Abril Ariana Escalante Acosta on or about January 27th, 2017, and separated on or about June 15th of 2020?
Ms. Castañeda. Did I lose her? Ms. Castañeda, did I lose her? Okay, say it again, Mr. Barbosa.
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm back on, Your Honor. I'm sorry, it locked me out for a little bit. It kicked me out.
No problem.
Can
I'll
you-
repeat the question. Yes, ma'am. Are you the same Noé Sanchez that was married to Abril Escalante on or about January 27th, 2017, and separated on June 15th, 2020?
Mr. Arellano, usted es la misma persona que está casado, se casó con la señora Abril Ariana Escalante en enero 27 de 2017 y se separaron en junio 15 del 2020.
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
Are you asking this court for a divorce because your marriage became insupportable and there's no chance of getting back together?
Y usted está pidiendo a esta corte el divorcio porque el matrimonio se ha convertido en insoportabilidad.
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Are there any children of the marriage, sir?
¿Hay niños de este matrimonio?
Sí.
Yes.
Can you please state their name for the record?
Por favor, diga los nombres.
Jacob Sánchez y Ian Caleb Sánchez.
Mateo Jacob Sánchez y Ian Caleb Sánchez.
Have you and Ms. Escalante come to an agreement to be joint managing conservator with her as a primary custodian?
Usted y la señora Escalante han llegado a un acuerdo de ser juntos la conservatoria de los niños.
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
Have you and Ms. Escalante come to an agreement with regards to your standard visitation?
Y usted y la señora Escalante han llegado a un acuerdo con las visitaciones.
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
And have you come to an agreement with regards to the child support at $300 a month?
Y han llegado a un acuerdo con tocante la manutención de los niños por $300 al mes.
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
Since there's no community property, are you asking this court to award each party any personal effects and any accounts under each other's name?
Como no hay propiedad en común, usted está pidiendo que cada quien se quede con sus cosas personales.
Correcto.
Correcto, correct.
Have you had a chance to review the divorce decree before you signed it, sir?
¿Y usted tuvo tiempo de revisar el decreto antes de firmar?
Sí, correcto.
Yes, correct.
Are you asking this court for a divorce?
Y usted está pidiendo a esta corte el divorcio.
Hold on, please stop.
Victor Carranza. Victor Carranza. Sit up straight, sir. Turn off your camera, please.
No le sé mover aquí, pero
Señor,
trata. Sí,
siéntate bien o apaga su cámara.
ok.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Okay, you may continue.
Thank you, Judge. Are you asking this court to approve your divorce, Mr. Sanchez?
Mr. Sánchez, a usted está pidiendo a esta corte que apruebe su divorcio. Mr. Sánchez. Mr. Sánchez. I think he froze, Your Honor.
He did. We can see if he unfreezes. Mr. Barbosa, you can go ahead and ask Ms. Escalante if she approves of the terms of the decree.
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Escalante, have you had a chance to review the divorce decree?
Ms. Escalante, ¿usted tuvo tiempo de revisar el decreto?
Sí.
Yes.
And were you able to sign it and do you agree with it?
Y usted lo firmó y está de acuerdo.
Sí.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. You e-filed the divorce decree, is that correct, Mr. Barbosa?
Yes, Your Honor. It should be on file. I believe it was Wednesday, Your Honor. I
And
mean,
it has the
yesterday.
signatures, it has the signatures of the parties?
Yes, Your Honor, both parties and myself.
Okay, then the court will approve the terms of the divorce decree as testified to on the record and set forth in further detail in the final decree of divorce that has been e-filed with the court. I'll ask for that to be forwarded to my queue, and I'll sign off on that.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, Attorney Hector Bustos.
Good morning, Judge. Hector Busto on behalf of the petitioners. Matter I got number 1 on your civil docket.
Okay, F5804-16-9 in the matter of the marriage of Ines Cantu Morales versus Ninfa Lucio.
Yes, that is correct, Judge. I believe she is present here, Judge, somewhere.
Okay, so Ines Morales, are you present?
He's present.
Your Honor, yes, I believe.
Okay, and Ninfa Lucio, are you present?
Judge, this is a default divorce, Judge.
Okay, let me have Ninfa Lucio's name called out 3 times, please.
Yes, ma'am. Ninfa, Hilda, Urbina Lucio, Ninfa Lucio, Ninfa Lucio.
Okay, the name being called out 3 times, you may proceed. Mr. Bustos, when was she served?
Judge, she was served by citation by publication, Judge, I believe on September 2020. And the publisher return it's been on file, Judge, the record for the time period. Ask the court to take judicial notice of all the court's documents, Judge.
Okay, so taken, does your client need the services of an interpreter?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Ms. Castaneda, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Mr. Morales, please raise your right hand.
Señor Morales, por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you swear that the testimony that you are about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Jura que el testimonio que va a dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad.
Sí.
Yes.
Miss, okay, you can put your, Judge, can you put his hand down? Or,
Puede bajar su mano.
okay. All right, can you please state your name for the record?
Por favor, diga su nombre completo.
Inés Cantú Morales.
Inés Cantú Morales.
Were you married to a Ninfa Lucio?
¿Y usted estaba casado con Ninfa Hilda Lucio?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. You guys have ceased to live together because of insupportable conflicts, and you guys no chance of reconciliation?
¿Y ustedes dejaron de vivir juntos por diferencias irreconciliables y no hay manera de reconciliación?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. You've lived in the state of Texas for over 6 months and in county of Hidalgo for over 90 days?
Y ha vivido en el estado de Texas por más de 6 meses y en el condado de Hidalgo por más de 90 días?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. There's no children of the marriage that are under the age of 18?
Y no hay niños menores de 18 años en este matrimonio?
No.
No.
There's no community property?
¿No hay propiedad en común?
No.
No.
Anything that you have in your possession you want to keep, and anything she has in her possession she will keep?
Lo que usted tiene en su posición, usted se va a quedar con eso, y lo que ella tiene en su posición, ella se va a quedar con eso.
Sí.
Yes.
And you're asking this court for divorce?
Y usted está pidiendo a esta corte el divorcio.
Sí, señor.
Yes, sir.
No further questions, Your Honor. We just ask the court to accept all the documents in the court's file and to grant the divorce, Judge.
Okay, has the divorce decree been e-filed on this?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. And does it have everyone's, or you and your client's signature on it?
Say that again, Judge?
Does it have you and your client's signature on it?
It has my signature, Judge. If the court wants a signature, I can certainly get it.
Okay. Was there any there was no community property and there were no children and there were no debts. Is that correct?
That's correct, Judge.
Okay, that'll be fine. Okay, the court will take judicial notice of all the documents in the court's file and will grant the relief as testified to and requested by the petitioner. And I will ask for that divorce decree to be forwarded to my queue.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Maybe choose, Your Honor.
You certainly may.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye.
Thank you. Ms. Castaneda, please let Mr. Morales know that he is excused.
Mr. Morales se puede retirar.
Okay, Attorney Raul Acevedo.
Your Honor, I'm here on I'm here on number 12 of your docket. We filed F-5593-18-9, Raul Acevedo for Jose Israel Tapia Vera, Your Honor. We filed a Rule 11 passing on the final hearing today. I just wanted to confirm that we did receive the court resetting our final hearing date to the end of August. And we're fine with that, Your Honor, but I think there was some confusion regarding child support, like a child support hearing as well by the OAG. I just wanted to confirm that the court did approve of passing the final hearing. And I'm just inquiring about that child support hearing, which my client has nothing to do with.
Okay, well, I don't see anybody here from the Attorney General's office. And I do have that your Rule 11 was accepted and approved. And you
Okay, yeah.
file your order resetting hearing and a new date was issued, so you're fine.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. That is all I have. I apologize for bothering you, Your Honor.
That's okay.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor. Stay safe, Your Honor.
Likewise, thank you. Attorney Jesse Contreras?
Your Honor, good morning.
Good morning.
Jesse
sir.
Contreras.
AG's office there.
I don't know what the docket number is, Your Honor. I know it's CL 3234 19. Hold on.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm Elizabeth Herrera here for the plaintiff CL Moto in that case with Jesse. We're on number 29 on the court's docket.
Okay, that is CO 193234-I. CL Moto Finance versus Lucio de los Santos.
May I address the court, Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
We're set for status hearing slash, hopefully he can grant my motion to withdraw all the requisites that I made an effort already. I served them by hand delivery. We called them up yesterday as well. But again, he's been served by hand delivery regarding the specific status hearing and the motion to withdraw. My understanding, Your Honor, as of today on the status hearing, you're gonna end up giving opposing counsel a summary judgment hearing. And I'll in turn turn around and send him a copy, probably hand deliver that again. But I'm asking the court this morning to allow me to withdraw out of this case. So.
Okay, any opposition, Ms. Herrera?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, your motion to withdraw will be granted, and Ms. Herrera, we can reset now your motion for summary judgment, and you can send him an order setting hearing on, if you want to submit an order setting hearing with, let me give you a date. For August the 25th. And that'll give you plenty of time to be able to let them know about that hearing date and if you need to mail the summary judgment motion again.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Oh, what time on the 25th? Is it 9:30?
9:30.
Your Honor, I will in turn hand deliver a date from my letterhead saying, look, your case has been reset for the summary judgment and opposing counsel will be sending you the documents. Be aware of that, and I'm going to hand deliver that to his residents.
Okay.
That's all I have. May I be excused, Your Honor?
You certainly may.
Thank you so much, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, Attorney David Gorena.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Actually, Judge, what I'm here on is a restitution hearing. I haven't seen the DA there, but I have a restitution hearing on my docket on CR 18-05951I.
That's not for tomorrow?
Yes, Judge, I saw it on tomorrow's docket.
Oh,
when
it's
I
for
read-
tomorrow.
Yes.
Oh, it's for tomorrow?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I saw it on tomorrow's docket. I worked on it this morning.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it's been changed to tomorrow. All right, thank you, Judge. That's all I have. I guess
Okay.
I'll be back tomorrow.
Okay, we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Attorney Lucy Williamson?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have
They didn't tell me it was.
good morning, Your Honor. I have two cases on the docket this morning. I do have one that's just an announcement. It's number 28. And I'm making an announcement on F 5857-16-9 on behalf of Mr. J.R. Garza. And Your Honor, he just wanted to ensure that the case was passed. He is on vacation and he asked me to make that announcement for him. I do see that Ms. Olivares is not present, so.
Well, yes, she is present.
Okay.
She's on my second screen.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if anybody, Miss Olivares, Bella Olivares, can you hear me?
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good
Ms.
morning.
Olivares is currently still tied up in the 139th, ma'am, on a highly contested protective order case.
Okay.
She's been there since 9 a.m.
Are you her assistant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so can you just confirm for the court that on F 5857-16-9, in the interest of Marcos Castro et al., are they passing that hearing right now?
Ms. Olivares did not tell me that she was in agreement to pass that case, ma'am.
Okay.
It's a status conference, Your Honor.
Yes, but
Yes, because I believe it was set for a ruling, Your Honor.
is that the case that I asked for the order to be forwarded to my queue? I'm asking my staff.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The status on that, sir, if you can pass on the information on to Ms. Olivares is, and you can let Mr. Garza know this, Ms. Williamson, on this case, they had already done the arguments a while back, and I had told them that I was taking the issue under advisement because I had some research to do. So after I did that research, it turns my ruling is in favor of Ms. Bella Olivares' client, and so I will be signing the order that Ms. Olivares filed with the court. That was what I was going to announce today.
Okay.
Or I'll notify Mr. J.R. Garza.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So hold on. Okay, so Ms. Williamson, so I had set it for the status. So actually neither one had any authority to pass it. But I understand that JR is on vacation. You can let him know that I did issue my ruling. I requested for that order to be forwarded to my queue. And of course, once I sign it and it's sent to him, he can certainly proceed with any relief he feels necessary.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so that's all on that one. So
Right.
Which other case are you here on, Ms. Williams?
I have number 25, Your Honor, on your docket, F 1362-12-9.
Okay, in the matter of the marriage of Abiel Sergio Martinez and Elizabeth Martinez.
Your Honor, my understanding is Mr. Martinez is also on the line. And we're ready to proceed on this case. It's on a motion for enforcement, Your Honor, that's been pending since 2019.
Okay, and you're representing Mr. Martinez or Ms. Martinez?
Ms. Martinez, Your Honor. We're the ones that filed the motion for enforcement. I do know that the Attorney General's also filed an intervention. I do have all their information, so we're ready to go forward.
Okay, and is Abiel Martinez present?
Your Honor, well, he's the one that says Galaxy Note 9.
Okay, sir, have you connected to audio? Okay, I can't hear you, sir. Try again.
Can you hear me now?
I certainly can. Okay, Mr. Martinez, have you secured counsel?
No, ma'am.
Are you going to be representing yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Ms. Williamson, let me recall you shortly and let me see if there's any other matters that I can dispose of quickly.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Attorney Timothy Davis.
Good morning, Judge. It's number 9 on your docket.
F 5472-18-9 in the matter of the marriage of Andrea Hodge versus Alex Garcia. Okay, what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge Tim Davis, I represented Ms. Hodge. It was a modification that ended up, we mediated, and actually previously the parties had appeared and the agreement was read into the record and the court approved it. But the Attorney General had it as an intervention. So they had some issues. We went ahead and incorporated their language into our modification order. And everyone has signed off on the decree now. And it's actually been e-filed this morning.
Judge, for the record, Julia Hernandez here, also number 9.
Okay, did you want to add anything else?
No, Mr. Davis summed it up.
Okay, then what I'll do, since they've already proved it up, and if you're agreeing to the language that's already been e-filed this morning, did you sign off on it as well, Ms. Hernandez?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll go ahead and have that forwarded to my queue, Mr. Davis, and I'll sign that final order.
Thank you, Judge. That's all I have. May I be excused?
You certainly may.
Thank you.
Okay. Ms. Hernandez, do you have any other case?
No, I don't. May I be excused?
Your Honor, if I can, just before Julie gets off, she does. She has our case. They intervened.
I wasn't assigned to it, but I'm happy to try to help.
Okay. I'll text her the information, Your Honor.
Okay, well, you might want to stay on. I'm going to recall it shortly, Ms. Hernandez.
I will. Thank you.
Okay, Mr. McLaughlin, what case do you have, sir?
Good morning, Your Honor. I have one case. It is.
Okay. I don't know.
Make sure that I got it right. Velocity Investments versus Pena. It's number 20 on page 5 of your docket.
Okay, CL 210230-I, Velocity Investments versus Jorge Pena et al. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
We are seeking a motion for, we are seeking to prove up a motion for default judgment.
Okay, Mr. Damian, please call out the defendant's name, Jorge Pena and Carla Pena, 3 times.
Yeah, we're here, Your Honor.
Okay, so they are on the screen, Mr. McLaughlin. Would you like an opportunity to confer with them, or do you want to give them a number where they can call?
You know, I would like to talk to them then about possible settlement and then just reset the case for today if they can give me a phone number that I can talk to them at.
Okay, Mr. Pena, can you please provide opposing counsel with a phone number that they can reach you at?
Yes, it's 956-802-7259. And also, Your Honor, if I could have their phone number as well, so I can call them.
Okay,
Yes, my phone number is 512-339-4100. And I will call him right now if he's available.
I am.
Okay.
Okay, then we'll go ahead and reset this matter for August the 16th at 9:30 if necessary.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you,
May
Your
I be
Honor.
excused?
You certainly may. You all have a great day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Attorney Frank Guerra.
Good morning, Judge. I'm Frank Guerra on behalf of Mr. Saul Salinas. This is number 24 on your civil docket, F 2686-219, in the matter of the marriage of Lisa Marie Rodriguez and Saul Salinas, and in the interest of their children, Your Honor.
Okay, and I do have Attorney Sergio Sanchez on the other side. Is Mr. Sanchez present?
Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Guerra, do you
Yes, Your Honor. I just sent them.
have you had an opportunity?
I sent their staff, his staff, an email a little while ago, looking to see if they were going to have someone here, if Mr. Sanchez was going to attend. I haven't gotten a response yet, Your Honor, but this is on their motion for a temporary protective order, Your Honor.
Okay, I'll recall it shortly. Let me have someone from my staff see if Mr. Sanchez is going to be appearing
Yes, Your Honor.
today or how we need to proceed.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Okay, Attorney Sandy Palacios.
Good morning, Judge. I have number 8 on your civil docket. Still waiting to see if Mr. Alvarez is gonna check in or his client.
Okay, let me see if I can have someone from my staff contact him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Martinez?
Your Honor, which Martinez?
You.
Okay, thank you, Judge. I saw somebody else on the screen. I've got number 10 on the docket, Your Honor. It's a divorce prove-up. My client isn't available. He's a petitioner, Your Honor, but Mr. David Gomez graciously agreed to approve up the divorce, Your Honor.
Okay, and did Mr. Gomez, did you all file a counter petition?
I believe the counter petition was filed in beginning of this year.
Okay. So, and we have Jose Gastelum and Areli Gastelum. Are they present?
Yes.
Ms. Gastelum is present, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gastelum
Oh,
is
that's
not.
right. You said that he's not going to be present. Okay.
Correct.
F 3530-19-9 in the matter of the marriage of Jose Gastelum and Areli Gastelum. Okay. Mr. Gomez, you're ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor.
Let me have your client raise her right hand. Ms. Gastelum, please raise your right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You may proceed, Mr. Gomez.
Okay, Ms. Gastelum, have you been a resident or lived in Yolo County for the past 90 days or prior to filing the divorce?
Yes.
Okay, and you live in the state of Texas for 6 months prior to filing the divorce? Okay, and you are Areli Gastelum, who was married to Jose Luis Gastelum?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and is it possible for you two to stay together or continue to be married?
Absolutely no.
Okay.
No.
And are there children of the marriage?
Yes, sir.
And are those two children, I believe, Leland and, sorry,
Kenneth.
I'm sorry, it's Mr. Leland Luis and Kenneth Cash Gastelum?
Yes, sir.
And are you expecting any children at the moment?
No, sir.
Okay. Have you reviewed the divorce decree that was prepared by Mr. Martinez's office and by your husband?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And are you in agreement of the terms of that divorce decree?
Yes.
Okay. And the divorce decree does provide for child custody and health care of the children?
Yes.
Okay. Does the agreement was $500 in child support, and you maintain the children on private insurance and but will be reimbursed by Mr. Gastelum?
Yes.
And you will be the parent who designates the primary residence of the children, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As to this marital property, you will retain the possession of the home located at 1217 West Hall Acres in Pharr, Texas?
Yes, sir.
And as to other property, any property that is in your possession, you request the court to grant you that property. Any property in Mr. Gastelum's possession, you request the court to grant him that property?
Yes.
Okay. And you will also be requesting a name change in this divorce. Is that correct?
Yes.
Your maiden name being Acevedo?
Yes, sir.
And you do believe that this agreement is the best interest of the children?
Yes, sir.
And you are asking this court to grant you this divorce and all the terms in the decree?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have no further questions, Your Honor.
Okay, do you have any questions of the respondent?
Just one, Your Honor. Ms. Gastelum, do you find the terms and conditions of this divorce to be equitable and fair? Ms. Gastelum?
She's frozen.
She's frozen. Okay. Oh,
This
no.
weather doesn't help. That's why.
I'm sorry, froze. Can you repeat that?
Of course. Do you find the terms and conditions of the divorce to be equitable and fair?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. The court will take judicial notice of all the documents in the court's file and will approve the agreement as testified to by the respondent and counter petitioner, Ms. Gastelum. Will grant the relief as testified to by her and also grant her name change. And this will be set forth in further detail in a divorce decree. Is that final decree of divorce been executed by all parties and the attorneys?
Yes, Your Honor. I don't know if it's been filed, but we did send our signature pages to Mr. Martinez's office.
Okay, Mr. Martinez, has that been e-filed yet?
If it hasn't, Your Honor, we will do so right away today.
Okay. When it gets e-filed and it's approved and accepted by the clerk's office, I'll ask for it to be forwarded to my queue so that I can sign off on it.
Thank you, Your Honor. May be excused.
You certainly may. Best
Thank you, Your Honor.
wishes to you all.
And thank you, Mr. Gomez.
Thank you. You too.
Okay, Mr. Guerra, I did see that Mr. Sanchez came on, so just be on standby.
We're ready. Good
Okay,
morning.
good morning. I'll be right with you. I see Attorney Tony Ramirez. You're on mute, Ms. Ramirez. Ms. Ramirez, you're on mute. You can just click the microphone at the bottom of your screen and it should unmute you.
All right.
Okay, what number are you here on?
Number 3, Your Honor, F-2114-20-9 on this Zoom hearing.
Okay, and is Maria del Pilar Campos present?
To my knowledge, she's not. She was served on January 27th of 2021.
Okay, and she filed an answer prior to being served? Is that what I'm showing that in my notes?
I'm not sure, Your Honor. I did get a blank answer, but it didn't have a
Sí,
signature.
aquí estoy.
Oh, she's present, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Castaneda, can you please ask her if she is ready to proceed today?
Ms. Espinosa, ¿está usted lista para seguir hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
Can you ask her if she's going to be representing herself or is she going to need additional time to find someone?
Ms. Espinosa, ¿usted se va a representar usted sola o usted va a buscar a un abogado que la represente?
Sí, necesito que me dé tiempo para buscar mi abogado.
I need time to look for an attorney.
Okay, Ms. Ramirez, she's requesting time to find counsel. So I'm gonna I'll reset you for a short time. So
Yes,
that gives
ma'am.
her an opportunity to find an attorney and perhaps discuss the issues with you.
All right, Your Honor.
Okay, so Ms. Castaneda, please let her know that I'm going to have her return on August the 23rd at 9:30 a.m.
Ms. Campos, la próxima corte es el día 23 de agosto a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Sí, está correcto.
And
Yes,
that I do not want her waiting until the last minute to hire someone.
Y no quiero que espere hasta el último momento para contratar a alguien.
Sí.
Yes.
And have them get in touch with Ms. Ramirez opposing counsel as soon as she hires the new attorney.
Cuando contrate su abogado nuevo, por favor que se comunique con la señora Ramírez lo más pronto posible.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, then we'll see you at that time. Hopefully you can have it worked out by then.
Thank you. May I be excused, Your Honor?
You certainly may. Thank you. Attorney Juan Ramos?
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on number 14 on your family docket.
Ms. Rodriguez, wait, number 14? For number 14 is not a family one.
It's number
I
6.
apologize, Judge.
I think it's number 16, Judge, if he's
16.
talking about the case.
Okay, that is F1999-21-9 in the interest of Alina Ilario.
Yes, Your Honor. Juan Ramos here on behalf of the respondent, Alyssa Hilario.
And Vanessa Flores on behalf of the petitioner, Ezra Maldonado, Your Honor.
Okay, what are the announcements, counselors?
Your Honor, in this case, I have reached out to Mr. Ramos. I do have, and I wasn't sure how the court wanted to handle that, but I do have the results of a paternity test that the court ordered. I don't know if the court would like for me to share the screen before I just e-file them. I wasn't sure. I have discussed the results with Mr. Ramos. I don't believe that there's any objection to the admission of those results.
Okay, and what are the results of the paternity test?
That Ezra Maldonado is the father of Alina Vianney Hilario.
Okay. Mr. Ramos, do you have any objection to the results?
I have no objection, Judge, because I was able to get the results myself from the testing lab.
Okay, so you can just e-file that, Ms. Flores.
Okay.
So then how do you all want to proceed now that you have those results?
Your Honor, I know that there is also a petition for, a motion for temporary orders that Mr. Ramos had filed, if I'm not mistaken. We did try to come to an agreement. We have not reached an agreement. So this will be just a matter of argument. I have let Mr. Ramos know that I would just be asking my client a couple of questions on the record. But it's more so to establish temporary orders at this time.
How old is the child?
She's 5 months old, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Ramos, is your client on?
She is on, Your Honor.
What's your client's name?
Alyssa Hilario.
Okay, Ms. Eladio, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, please turn your camera on.
Okay.
Okay, so we have a 5-month-old child that we are dealing with at this time. Is this their only child?
Yes, Your Honor,
It is, Your Honor.
Oh, ours, yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. So then, Mr. Maldonado has not had any type of visits with the child at all?
Your Honor, I believe that there was a loss of communication prior to the child being born. Once the child was born, he did have communication with Ms. Hilario's brother. At that time, we were able to secure an address, phone number, etc., in order to serve her. He has also had only one visit with the child. After that, Ms. Hilario has not allowed or facilitated those visits.
And Your Honor, if I may, the other issue that we had pending before the court was a motion for hair follicle as well.
Yes, Judge, and I'm sorry, Mr. Ramos. I also have the results of that hair follicle. I believe that Mr. Ramos also has the results. My client was positive for marijuana. It is a hair follicle, Judge. I'm not sure how the court would like to handle that. I know how we've handled it, and I've discussed it with Mr. Ramos. The way that we've handled it is I've advised, and my client has been placed on a drug patch. We have the results from one drug patch, so that's the baseline. And we will continue to have the drug patch in order to prove to the court that Mr. Maldonado is not using marijuana or any other substance at this time and hasn't for some time.
And Mr. Ramos, did your client take the hair follicle test as well?
She did, Your Honor, and she came out clean.
Okay. Well, sometimes what happens in this, look, I'm not naive, until you're under that watchful eye of a court or something like that, then you tend to just live life how you want. But now you're under this eye. And so now, he was positive. It doesn't mean that he's not going to have any type of visits with the child, because normally 5 visits with a 5-month-old, we all know, are at first supervised and then you work up. Now, both of y'all know, counselors, that this was my background. And so I'm very much in favor of customized possession orders. I'm very much in favor of phases. I'm very much in favor of working outside of the box and trying to come up with time to ensure that both parties have time with the children. What I'm not in favor of, and what I will tell both of your clients, is games. I'm not in favor of any games. I'm not in favor of people holding things against each other and then trying to come and play that in front of me, because I can see it. In almost 20 years that I practiced it, I saw it all. Okay, so I'm going to tell you. I'm going to give you an opportunity to come up with some kind of visitation schedule. And to confirm, by opportunity, I mean you have about 20 minutes so that you all can talk with one another, so that you can come up with something that fits your schedule. Now, I understand you all have had issues in the past. Obviously, that's why you're here. But now there's a child that did not choose its parents, but you all were chosen for this child. And as parents, I would suspect that you're going to take your role very seriously. And now is the time to start building on this relationship. Mom to bond with baby and dad to bond with baby. So we had the hurdle of whether he was the father. So he jumped that hurdle. Now we know he is the father. So as a father, now he knows he's got to step it up. He's got to clean up his act. There's certain things that he's got to do to change so that he can be worthy of the seat at the table of being a father. Having a child doesn't make you a father. Being present in the child's life, being active in the child's life, that makes you a father. Anyone can procreate. Not everyone can be a parent and a positive influence. And the same thing with mom. Having the baby doesn't just make you a mother. You have to be a mother, be present with the child, be a person that fosters the relationship. You know, later on, you're going to be raising this child as co-parents because your baby is so young. But because your baby is so young, you have an opportunity to mold this child together, okay? Remember, what this child hears, what this child sees is going to be influential. You two are going to be the most influential people in this child's life. So how this child's being is completely on your shoulders. It's a huge responsibility and a big, big weight that is very heavy. How you choose to conduct yourselves as parents is going to be very telling to this court of how you choose to be in this child's life. If you play games, then I'm going to think that you're not serious. And so you're going to have to prove to me harder why you need to have your seat at the table. If you're a straight shooter, you do what you need to do. If you try to cooperate with one another, then that makes it a little easier for everyone. The name of the game here is not that it's a game. The name of the situation here is that y'all need to learn how to be co-parents together. I'm not asking y'all to like each other, but I am asking y'all to respect one another. That is huge. Respect for one another is huge. Not even asking y'all to love each other, because it seems that ship sailed a long time ago. But there's a little baby here that is in a very sensitive situation, and I'm very aware of that. There's no win or lose, okay? So don't be thinking that your attorney, if you get time or don't get time, the time that you want, there's no win or lose. You never win in situations where children are involved. Everyone loses. That's just the way that it is, okay? Because you're each giving a piece of yourself away when you get into these situations. But you're here. And you're here in front of me, and I'm willing to work with you. And you all both have very, very capable attorneys who know me very, very well as far as how I've practiced and what I expect. So listen to them. Listen to them when they tell you this court's not going to accept that, or this court may accept that. Listen to them. It's not that they're trying to put you in your place, and it's not that they're trying to make you feel bad that you're not going to get this or you're not going to get that, or, you know, I know you want the world, and I'm sure that if each of you could, you'd spend every waking moment with this child. But unfortunately, that's not reality. So what we need to try to do is come up with something that does work. And that includes child support, and that includes health insurance, and that includes a possession and visitation order and access to this child. That's reasonable, okay? Don't be thinking you're going to be getting overnights right away, sir. I mean, be reasonable, okay? And don't be thinking if you're nursing that you're going to use nursing as an excuse as well, because there's ways around everything, okay? And I'm being very honest, because I'm sure your attorneys have also heard it all. But I'm very sensitive in these situations as far as like being very much aware of having a 5-month-old. So, and sir, listen to your attorney, because she is a new parent, but a new parent to a newborn. And so listen to what she has to say as far as what a newborn needs. She's not siding with your ex. It's she's trying to tell you honestly what it is that your child is going to need. And ma'am, listen to Mr. Ramos. It's not that he's trying to tell you that he should not get things as a father. He's just trying to let you know what's realistic, okay? So I'm gonna give you an opportunity to confer. Normally I would send you to mediation, but I think you're gonna be losing some time if you do that. And we can probably come up with something for about a week or two. So that gives you some time to get something more extensive so that it works for temp orders, you know, but for right now, I can give you an opportunity to confer. You can either confer on your own, or I can put you in a breakout room. It's up to you all, but I'll recall you in about 15, 20 minutes, see what it is that you all can come up with, okay?
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, so I'll see you shortly.
Thank you.
Okay, so I know Mr. Sanchez and Mr. Guerra have a contested matter. I know Ms. Williamson.
Your Honor, it's an agreement for time, asking for approval of that.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Guerra, so you all have an agreement now?
Yes, Judge, I think after hearing that, I think it would be in our client's best interest if we figured something out before moving forward on this.
Perfect. Okay, so let me go ahead and recall your case, and that is F 2686-21-9 in the matter of the marriage of Lisa Rodriguez versus Saul Salinas. Okay, go ahead. Do you want your clients to prove it up, or are you just going to read it into the record?
May I proceed, Your Honor?
Okay, go ahead and read it into the record, and then we'll ask them if they understand it as it's been read into the record, okay? You may proceed, Mr. Sanchez.
Judge, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can now.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor. Judge, from the last.
Okay, now I
Your Honor,
can.
from the last hearing until today. From the last hearing until today, you granted our motion to extend the TRO. Since then, Mr. Guerra has filed a general denial on this case. He and I have been communicating. We expect to reach resolution between now and the next hearing. We've agreed to additional time, and we're asking the court to approve that. And I'm also asking that the TRO be extended until the next hearing.
Okay, so when you say you're asking for additional time, you're asking for additional time to confer.
That's correct, Your Honor. We just started talking about this today, and we're already making progress, Judge. I expect it to be resolved.
Okay, and are your clients on?
Ms. Rodriguez should be on, Your Honor.
I did see it. Okay, Ms. Lisa Rodriguez, are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Saul Salinas, are you present?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so both of you heard what I had told the previous party. I very much believe in co-parenting and both of y'all in respecting each other and the situation and how are we going to be good parents, okay? So I'm going to have you guys come back. And Miss Rivera, oh, I'm sorry. I think she's, Miss Castañeda, can you tell me if we opened up the 21st?
Your Honor, we did. We did, but there are 6 contested matters in that morning already.
Okay, well, I expect that we'll approve of
Okay.
an agreement. So I'm hoping that that's what it'll be. So let's come back on July the 21st at 9:30 a.m. with your agreement to be read into the record. And since we do have contested matters on that docket, make sure you all log on time, and that way I can take you up first.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, if you have temporary orders that you all do agree to in time and everyone signs off on them, including the attorneys and the parties, then you do not need to appear at the hearing.
Yes, Judge.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay, so at this time, the restraining order that's on file will be extended for the additional 14 days, and just communicate with one another to try to get an agreement set forth on the record, okay?
Yes, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, best of luck to all of you.
Thank you.
Good day, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Pete Espinosa,
Good morning, Judge. I
good morning.
believe we're number 36 on the docket. I'm here with Jaime Cavazos, opposing counsel.
Okay, F5377-18-9 in the interest of a minor child.
Good morning, Your Honor. Jaime Cavazos is here for Mr. Perez. I believe he's present.
Pete Espinosa for Rosita Estrada.
Okay, and what is the announcement?
Judge, this is a status conference. Mr. Cavazos and I spoke yesterday. We'd like to set it up for an informal mediation. I believe we can have a resolution by our next hearing. I think both of our clients will make a good faith effort.
Okay, so do you want the next setting to be for final?
Yes, I think we can set it up for final, or we'll notify the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, August 23rd at 9:30 a.m. will be the final hearing.
Judge, do you have a time on that?
I said 9:30 a.m.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I have nothing further before this honorable court. And
That's all I had, Judge.
Okay, you may be excused.
Can our clients be excused?
Yes, and the clients can also be excused.
Thank you, Judge. You have a good day.
Thank you.
Likewise. Okay, Attorney Savannah Gonzalez.
Good morning, Judge. Can you hear me?
I can.
Sorry, Judge. I've got kind of a poor connection here, but I've got number 6 on your docket.
F2456-20-9, Jose de Carizales versus Belinda de Jesus Coronado.
Yes, Judge. Mark Salinas, I believe, was on the other side. At our last hearing, his withdrawal was not permitted. I think there had not been notice to his client. However, I don't see him on the screen here.
I do see Ms. Coronado. Ms. Coronado, can you hear me?
Sí.
Okay. Ms. Castaneda, can you please ask Ms. Coronado if she has received notice of Mr. Salinas' motion to withdraw?
Ms. Coronado, ¿usted recibió alguna carta del señor Mark Salinas que se retiró del caso?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay. And is she objecting at this time?
¿Y usted tiene alguna objeción para eso?
No.
No.
Okay. Then I will grant Mr. Salinas' motion to withdraw. Let me just ask Ms. Coronado if she's going to be seeking new counsel.
Ms. Coronado, ¿usted va a buscar abogado nuevo?
No.
No.
Okay, just to confirm, she will be representing herself then?
¿Se va a representar usted sola?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, please remind her that representing herself, she will be held to the standard of an attorney, and she will be required to communicate with Ms. Gonzalez as an attorney.
Ms. Coronado, usted por representarse usted sola, usted va a estar al nivel la van a agarrar al nivel de un abogado y tiene que mantenerse en contacto con la abogada Savannah González.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
clarify. She would have to maintain contact as any other attorney would, not as an attorney. I don't want anybody to think that just because they pro se are an attorney.
Tiene que mantenerse en contacto con la señora González, porque usted se está representando sola.
Ok, está bien.
Okay, please have her put her phone number on the record, please.
Por favor, ¿puede dar su número de teléfono?
¿Aquí?
Yes, ma'am. Sí, por favor.
Es 956-314-5267.
956-314-5267.
Okay, please have her state her email address, please.
Ms. Coronado, ¿qué es su correo electrónico?
Belinda Coronado 9 @gmail.
Belinda Coronado9@gmail.com.
Okay. So Ms. Gonzalez, I'm going to give you all an opportunity to confer. I'm not sure if there are any contested issues. But how much time do you think you would need for me to give you to speak to her?
Judge, I think we can probably knock this out in a week or two. They've had temporary orders that have been in place for a very long time. And they've subsequently kind of worked out their own agreement with the children. I don't know if that's what she plans to do going forward, but I imagine we can resolve it.
Okay, if it's agreed to, I can hear you on July 21st.
Yes, Judge, I think that'll work.
Okay, if for some reason it's not agreed to, just let us know and we'll move you because I already have a lot for the contested docket.
Yes, that sounds great. I was gonna say, I've got a pretty busy day as well. So if it's gonna be contested, I'll just go ahead and advise your staff.
Okay, sounds good. Please let Ms. Coronado know that she is to return on July 21st at 9:30.
Ms. Coronado, la próxima corte es el 21 de julio a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Ok, ¿y es para qué?
And what is it for?
Finalize.
Para terminar el caso.
Ok.
Okay.
Okay, then tell her she's excused until that time.
Se puede retirar hasta esa fecha.
Ok, está bien.
Okay, that's fine.
Ms. Gonzalez, do you have anything else?
No, ma'am, not at this time. May I be excused?
You certainly may. Okay.
Thank you,
we're
Judge. Bye-bye.
We'll be on a brief 5-minute recess. We'll off the record. Okay, Ms. Flores, I'm ready whenever you're ready. Oh, I meant Lisa Flores. I'm sorry.
Okay, Judge.
Okay, so we are now back on the record. And so what we have left, let me see. Ms. Fela Olivares, which other case were you here on, ma'am?
Your Honor, can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, good, thank you. Good morning, Your Honor. Julie Hernandez, Attorney General, I think she was on the screen too. They had an intervention on the same case that Mr. Acevedo, Mr. Jackson, and myself had signed a Rule 11, but they served her with a citation to be in this hearing, maybe for child support. So I'm just here to make sure what Ms. Hernandez has to present to the court.
Well, when Mr. Acevedo made the announcement and I called it, I didn't hear anything from the AG's office. So I told him the Rule 11 stood.
Okay.
And order resetting hearing. So Ms. Hernandez, were you going to bring up an issue today?
No, Your Honor, we were not made a part of that Rule 11, which I would have preferred if we had been. And so we weren't sure if she was going to be present or not. I think it was just a business practice.
So we went ahead and reset that, I believe, to August the 16th. Ms. Rivera, can you confirm?
August the 30th, Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so August 30th at 9:30 a.m.
All right. Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Thank you. Okay, so before we go on with the contested matter, so do I have San Juana Maldonado or Victor Carranza? I did see Mr. Carranza was on earlier. San Juana Maldonado?
Sí, aquí estoy.
Okay, Ms. Castaneda, can you please ask her if she has an attorney?
¿Tiene un abogado, ma'am?
No.
No.
Okay, and is she prepared to move forward?
¿Y está lista para proceder a hoy?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, let me look up. I may have already been locked out of my system. Hold on. Ms. Castaneda, Ms. Rivera, can you please pull up her case?
Yes, ma'am, it's up.
Okay, can you please let me know when he filed the waiver of service on November 2nd, did he state that this could be taken up? Oh, he's here. Never mind. Okay, and then can you check to see did they file a divorce decree?
Your Honor, it has not been filed.
Okay. Ms. Castaneda, can you please let Ms. Maldonado know that I cannot proceed unless she has filed her divorce decree that's been signed by her husband?
Ms. Maldonado, la corte no puede proceder hasta que no ponga en lista su divorcio, su decreto, y firmado por los dos, usted y el señor Carranza.
Es el documento que puse. A ver, permítame.
Please give me a minute.
Es este documento. ¿No es este?
Is it this document?
No.
No.
Porque tengo estos también que él firmó.
I have these that he signed.
No.
No.
¿Qué es el papel? ¿Cómo se llama?
Final decree of divorce. I'm sorry.
Es el decreto del divorcio.
Divorce. ¿Y ese tengo que ir a la corte a firmarlo?
And do I have to go to the court to sign it?
Tell her that we are not allowed to give her any legal advice.
No podemos darle ningún aviso legal.
So she has to figure out what a final decree of divorce is and get that signed and filled out and filed.
So usted tiene que figurar que es un decreto y firmarlo y meterlo en la corte.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, tell her that for right now, I'll go ahead and allow her to come back on August the 30th. at 9:30. Tell both parties. They're both Spanish speaking.
Mr. Carranza y Ms. Maldonado, por ahora vamos a regresar a la corte el día 30 de agosto a las 9:30 de la mañana.
And have her please have that document signed by both of them and e-filed before then.
Y para esa fecha, por favor, firmen el decreto y métenlo en la corte para la próxima fecha.
Ok,
Okay,
está bien.
that's fine.
Let them know they're both excused until that date.
Los dos se pueden retirar hasta esa fecha.
Your Honor,
Gracias.
I apologize. May we have their emails? I could not find them and we did have to call them directly.
Okay, please have each of them put their email address on the record.
Ms. Maldonado y Mr. Carranza, por favor, ¿pueden dar su correo electrónico?
Sí. Mi correo es asmaldonadogallegos@gmail.com.
Mine is smaldonado@gmail.com.
Es correcto.
That's correct.
And Mr. Carranza?
Mr. Carranza, ¿qué es su email?
Tell him that he's on mute.
Mr. Carranza, ¿tiene la bocina apagada? Por favor, prenda la bocina.
Ok, espérame. ¿Ahí?
Sí. Prenda la bocina, por favor.
¿Ahí?
Ahí.
Yes, sí, ahí.
Ok. Es 1985 Hugo Luna 2020 @gmail.com.
1985 Hugo Luna 2020 @gmail.com.
Sí.
Okay, let them know that they'll be receiving future notices via email.
Les van a mandar las próximas, las próximas noticias por email, por
Okay.
correo electrónico.
Ok.
Okay.
So we'll see them on August 30th at 9:30.
So los miramos el día 30 de agosto a las 9:30 de la mañana.
Okay, thank you.
Disculpe, quería preguntar porque quería más días para... Ahorita tiene 6 días al mes. Quería si se podía otros 6 días más, las visitas de los niños.
I wanted to ask, he has 6 days for visits, and I wanted to ask for another 6 days with the children's visits.
That's not up to me. They have an opportunity to discuss that until August the 30th when they come back. And if they want to include that in their decree, they can include it in the decree. If they don't agree, then I'll make a decision.
Esto es algo que tienen que discutir ustedes y si se están de acuerdo lo pueden poner en el decreto. Si no están de acuerdo para esa fecha lo podemos discutir en la fecha que tenemos para la próxima corte.
Ok.
Okay.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. F 4741-20-9 in the matter of the marriage of Melissa Gonzalez and Gerardo Gonzalez. Anyone present on those?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, are you still pro se?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and Gerardo Gonzalez, I do not see him on. And so, Ms. Gonzalez, are you wanting to still proceed with your divorce?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so have you spoken to your husband?
No, ma'am.
Okay, can you please turn your camera on?
Just give me 1 minute.
Okay.
There. One.
Have you spoken to your husband?
No, I haven't, ma'am.
Okay, have you spoken to Mr. Trevino, his attorney?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so do you all have any children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how many children do y'all have together?
1.
Okay, and what's the age?
He's 4.
Okay, and has your husband been visiting with the child?
No, ma'am. No contact.
How long has your husband not had contact?
It's probably been a year and a half
Okay,
or more. I went to his mother's house in Easter to take my baby, and he showed up maybe about for 5 minutes, and his girlfriend got mad because we were there and they left.
Okay. So I do need, since he's already has an attorney, then I need to find out why his attorney is not here right now. So I'm going to go ahead and have one of my staff members contact their office.
Okay.
So if you can please be on standby. We still have a couple of other matters.
Yes, ma'am.
I appreciate you waiting.
No problem.
Okay?
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay, I believe then that leaves us back to our contested matters. So, Mr. Palacios, we lost Mr. Alvarez.
I'm here, Your Honor. Judge. He's here, Judge.
Oh, there you are. Okay. So then F 1314-20-9 in the matter of the marriage of Carrie Villarreal versus Mario Flores. And what are the announcements, counselors?
Good morning, Judge. Sonny Palacios for Ms. Villarreal.
One I was from Mr. Flores.
Judge, on this case, we were set for final hearing. However, we are still pending mediation. We did file a motion to compel mediation. We were first set for May 25th. It was canceled. Then it was set for June 24th. It was canceled again. We were kind of shocked that the second one was canceled. So we did a Facebook search as to Miss Gracie Delgado, which was Mr. Flores's girlfriend, and you'd be surprised what people put on Facebook. They were checked in in Cancun in Mexico at that time. Judge, after the first mediation that was canceled, we did send some proposed temporary orders with no response. After the second cancellation, we did send another second proposed temporary orders with no response. There's been no child support since March 2020. Based on the information that was sent to us, we calculated it as close to $26,000 in arrears, Judge. We would like to compel mediation within 30 days, Judge. Because of the cancellation, including the trip to Cancun, we would like to be reimbursed for our mediation fees, and we can get a reset and are compelled granted.
Your Honor, if I may, Judge, on the 24th of January, I had a scheduled flight out to Dallas. I was on a flight on the 24th. I'm not aware about the Cancun trip regarding my client. I can't attest to that, but I can attest to the reason why I had asked for a reset on the 24th of June. I had a scheduled flight to Dallas. I was on the flight all morning, and I was going to be out of town from then until the following Thursday. So that's the reason why I requested it. But it was not coming from my client. Whether he had another vacation, I'm not sure, but that was not the reason why we requested it. Was because I have the itinerary for the 24th of June.
Do you know why your client is not on right now?
I don't know. He texted me early this morning that he was like at 8:12 this morning. He called me and said, "I'm on and nothing's going on." I said, "You need to stay on, and eventually they'll bring you in." I had other hearings, so he should be on because he was trying to log on this morning at 8:15, 8:12.
Okay, Mario Flores, are you present? Mario Flores. Okay, I'll give you an opportunity to contact him so he can log in because I'm going to address some issues with both of them, okay?
Yes, Judge. Give me a few seconds.
I will recall you shortly. Okay, Ms. Williamson, it looks like, okay, hold on. I guess we lost your pro se opponent.
No, Your Honor, I think he's logged in the Galaxy.
Oh, there he is. Okay. Let me see. Okay. Let me go ahead and recall this matter. So it is F 1362-12-9 in the matter of the marriage of Fabián Sergio Martinez versus Elizabeth Martinez. Is Ms. Martinez in your office?
Yes, she is, Your Honor. She is present here in my office, and she will require the assistance of an interpreter.
Okay. And Mr. Martinez, you're ready to proceed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we're doing a motion for enforcement. What are we enforcing?
Your Honor, we're enforcing the payment that was ordered by the final divorce decree, a payment for her equity in the house of $10,000 that was due August 1st, 2013, and the child support and medical support due. Now, Mr. Martinez did pay, after we had numerous hearings, he did pay $5,000 towards the equity that was owed to my client, and that was paid May of 2020. You know, the original decree did say that he owed $10,000 by August 1st, 2013 without interest. When we filed our motion for enforcement, since the delay in payment was, you know, he had waited so long and not made any payment, we filed the motion for enforcement in 2019 in November. We did ask that we pled that he be required to pay 6% interest that on the amount after the due date. We did have a default judgment where that was granted. And then the default judgment was set aside when Mr. Martinez was represented by Ms. Palacios Cruz, but then she withdrew. So at this time, we're just urging our same motion for enforcement, giving him credit for the $5,000, but requiring him to pay the interest on the balance from date due to now.
Okay, so I think your contested hearing is going to take a little bit longer than the, let me see if they've reached an agreement on Mr. Ramos and Ms. Flores' case. Mr. Trevino just popped in, and so I'm sure he's going to have a quick announcement with respect to the case he has with Ms. Gonzalez. So just bear with me just a little bit longer, okay?
Your Honor, if this court, I know it's getting close to lunch and I assume your staff eats. If you want to reset us, Your Honor, that I don't have any problem, because yes, it is going to be contested.
Hold on, because yes, my staff eats, but they also know that they eat quickly sometimes, so hold on. Okay, so just bear with me and we'll see what we can do, because we do need to give you some time. So Ms. Flores and Mr. Ramos, do y'all have an agreement on this matter?
Judge, we have an agreement as to the first 30 days. Initially, we had proposed, and if the court would just allow, I don't know if the court wants to hear this or not, but if the court would just allow just a brief little, I guess, backstory.
Sure, let me just.
We tried to, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
Go ahead and call the case for the record. So F-1999-21-9 in the interest of a minor child. Okay. Ms. Flores, you can go ahead and proceed.
Okay, Judge, in this case, as I previously said, I have been in communication with Mr. Ramos. We did try to come to an agreement prior to today. We do have an agreement now as to the first 30 days. Prior to this morning's hearing, what we were trying to do was get temporary orders for a period of 90 days. So that way the court and the parties would, you know, at least know, or the court would be able to see what the parties were either working towards or not working towards, and it gave them a substantial amount of time to be able to continue to, as the court said, co-parent and continue with the orders. At this point, we have an agreement as to the first 30 days. What I had proposed on behalf of Mr. Maldonado initially was a 90-day period of supervised visits. Those visits to be supervised by Mr. Maldonado's mother or any other family member for 2-hour periods on Saturday and Sunday, and then on first, third, and fifth, and then on the second and fourth weeks for a period of 2 hours on Thursdays, also supervised. That was something that Mr. Ramos's client was not in agreement with. I believe that Mr. Ramos's client at that point just wanted visits to be in a public place supervised by her whenever, you know, she was available. At this time, the agreement, as far as the first 30 days, that is an agreement that we both have come to. That is supervised visits for a period of 30 days, supervised by the mother in this case, which is Alyssa Hilario. But those visits would be at my client, Mr. Maldonado's mother's home, which is where he lives, Saturday from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. and Sunday from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. And then on the second and fourth weeks, the Thursdays, on the second and fourth weeks from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. So it'd be a period of 8 visits supervised by mom in this case. Now, what we're not in agreement with is what would happen the following 60 days. And just if the court would allow, this is what I thought maybe, a step-up process. The next 30 days, what we wanted to try to agree to was still supervised visits, but instead of supervised by mother, supervised by paternal grandma at paternal grandmother's home, which is the home that my client lives at, from the periods of our first, third, and fifth weekend, Saturday from 6:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m., Sunday from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. So just increasing that particular period of time by 2 hours. And then second and fourth weeks on Thursdays, 6:30 to 8:30. And then the next step up would just be supervised still by paternal grandmother at her home, and just increasing the Saturday period by an additional 2 hours to eventually work up to Mr. Maldonado being able to have the child without supervision for those periods of time.
Okay, so let me tell you what it concerns me about this. So, and this is just from speaking from experience. So first of all, what concerns me is what type of relationship does Miss Hilario have with Mr. Maldonado's family, number one. Number two, supervised visitations by one parent over another parent is not always successful, because then it tends to be, well, what are they doing? I want to know what's happening. And then they start talking to the family about, so what's he up to? What's she up to? What's going on? Who's been coming here? Oh, he's been living here? How long has he been living here? Does he bring anybody here? Okay, that's another thing. So if that's really what you all want to agree to Miss Hilario supervising, it's very mature. That's good. I mean, I compliment you all for working this out, but there's going to be some parameters. Okay. Miss Hilario, you're there just to observe. Don't be hands-on. He needs to change the Pampers. He needs to deal with the baby crying. Unless he asks for your assistance, you do not assist. You do not ask personal questions from his mother or father or sister, whomever's in the home. You're really just there like a silent person. That's what supervised visitation is. You're just watching. You're just observing. You're taking mental notes. Please do not show up with a notebook, because that's happened in the past, where you're documenting every single thing. The whole point is to allow a visitation where it's going to be a nurturing environment and where he gets to nurture. Okay. Those are the parameters, you guys. I'm going to allow you all to work on that so that you discuss that with them. Mr. Ramos, I'm going to have to charge you with that on your client. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to hear the baby crying, but he has to learn how to soothe the baby. He has to learn what's going to make the baby quiet down. Now, if she wants to assist and look, she takes the pacifier, or she likes this blanket, or this doll makes her calm down, that's okay. If you're going to be there to criticize, like, well, that's not how you do it, I do this, that's a no-no, okay? So you all need to work, on those parameters. And also, Miss Hilario, if you feel after the first couple of times that you've gone, you're uncomfortable because you're treated badly, or they're looking at you wrong, or whatever, I suggest you all have a backup person as to who may supervise the child if she's not able to or is uncomfortable to do. Now, these visits, I don't want them done in a public place given the current climate. So a home like where he's at is perfect for right now, until things become a little bit safer. Okay. So
I'm sorry, Judge, but just for the court's information, and that way the court also knows why we've come to this agreement, or why I believe we've come to this agreement. Miss Hilario for a period of time actually lived with my client in this particular home. And this was prior to them having a child. She actually does, as she mentioned earlier, she has another child that also lived in the home with my client and his mother. So the backup person, Your Honor, that we would be suggesting, this is not something that we discussed with Mr. Ramos, would just be my client's mother, who has been there and who Miss Hilario also lived with for a period of time.
Let me ask you this. How long were the parties together prior to the baby being born?
About 4 or 5 months prior, 4 or 5 months prior to her becoming pregnant, Your Honor.
And Ms. Hilario, can you confirm that?
Yes.
Okay, so right now, are they, and I'm not pushing anything, this is me thinking. Are they working towards a reconciliation or have they both moved on?
They both moved on, Your Honor, so they're not working towards a reconciliation. It's just more of being able to co-parent and to have access to the child in this case. But I just wanted the court to be aware of kind of the history of how it had worked prior to. This was, Miss Hilario lived at their home for that period of time, day in and day out, with another child that she cared for and that they all cared for.
Okay.
And Judge, if I may, I actually did discuss with Ms. Hilario the parameters of supervised visitation and also, the responsibilities that would come if she's going to supervise them. So she's assured me, and I know she can assure the court, she's going to remain cordial and be there in the spirit as you described.
Okay. Well, if it gets too much, Ms. Hilario, just be honest with yourself. And you gotta, and if because it's hard. It's hard to be in an environment that you were once in before that didn't work out. You know what I mean? So if it becomes too much, be honest with yourself and let your attorney know so that they can make alternate arrangements for maybe the paternal grandma stepping in to supervise. And the other thing that I was going to say too is that if y'all have moved on, have those talks with your new significant others, because you don't want, remember, this is your child that you all have together, nobody else's. So these are the decisions that you all are going to make together. So, okay. Well, let me have both of your clients raise their right hand. Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Ms. Hilario?
Yes.
Mr. Maldonado?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I commend both of you on having these open and honest discussions with your attorneys. You're about to embark in a very difficult chapter in your journey. And so it's very important for you all to stay with an open communication. So Ms. Hilario, you've heard the agreement as read into the record by Ms. Flores. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and is that your agreement at this time?
At this time, yeah.
Okay, and so, and you've also heard the admonishments that I've set forth with respect to the parameters of your supervision. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, and so you are agreeing to abide by those parameters?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Maldonado, you've heard the agreement as read into the record by your attorney. Is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
And is that the agreement as you understand it?
Yes.
Okay. So this is what we call phases. Okay, so you're going to be in this phase 1, which approximately will take you into 30 days. So what we're going to do is, your case is very sensitive because of the age of your child. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to order you to go to mediation with Ms. Avelia Saenz so that she can assist you in working out the remainder of the customized possession, access, and visitation order. And I'm going to have you all return. I just want to report like a status. The soonest that I can actually get you to give me a status is on August the 16th. And I'm gonna set you for 11 a.m. because I want to take some time with y'all. So I'll set you for August the 16th at 11 a.m. And at which time you'll report to me how the visitations are going, how your first phase went, if you were able to attend mediation, and perhaps because this is a SAPSR, you may be ready for a finalized order at that time, but we'll take it step by step, okay?
Judge, so you would like for us to mediate, I guess, within the time before the following status here?
Yes, ma'am. So that they can assist you. If you're not going to be able to finalize it, then perhaps she can assist you coming up like what you stated, like a 90-day plan.
Okay.
So that we can say like, okay, well, he did the 30 days. Let's step it up. Let's step it up. And then, you know, and I'm not pushing you to come to a final order given the sensitivity because of the age of the child. I'm not going to push you to disposition until I feel that you all have given enough attention to what can we live with, because this baby is just 5 months. I mean, my goodness, you still have a whole 18 years we've got to plan out, so let's try to see where we are. So let's come back August the 16th at 11 a.m. Let's see how we're doing at that time.
Judge, I just have two other requests at this time. I know that the court has already found, or that the court find that Ezra Maldonado is the father of Alina Vianney Hilario. And then second, Your Honor, we are requesting that the child's name be changed to Maldonado, and that be reflected on the birth certificate.
Okay, Mr. Ramos, have you had an opportunity to discuss, now that you know that the paternity has come back, that Mr. Maldonado is the father?
Yes, Your Honor. I have discussed that with Ms. Hilario. Her request is that Maldonado, it will be the control name, but that her maiden name Hilario remain as a hyphenated name.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you an opportunity to discuss how you want it to be hyphenated, whether it's Maldonado Hilario or Hilario Maldonado, but Maldonado will be on there somewhere. So, but I'm going to give you all an opportunity to discuss that. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Come back and let me know what you all decide on the 16th. Now, if for whatever reason things go south, which I'm not anticipating, but if they do, and you all need to have some motions heard, go ahead and set them for that date at 11 a.m. and I'll hear them on that date.
Okay. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. Best of luck to you all. And like I said, I'm very proud of both of you. Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. You all take care.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Trevino, I'm going to recall your case that you have with Ms. Gonzalez. And that is F4741-20-9 in the matter of the marriage of Melissa Gonzalez versus Gerardo Gonzalez. You're on mute, Mr. Trevino.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, Judge. Good morning. Eddie Trevino representing Mr. Gonzalez in this matter.
Good morning. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez is also present representing herself. And you're set for a final hearing this morning. Are you all ready to proceed?
Your Honor, we're not ready to proceed at this time. I think Ms. Gonzalez submitted an order and we submitted our order. We called Ms. Gonzalez yesterday, reached an agreement, but we had no contact with Ms. Gonzalez. This morning, Mr. Gonzalez, my client, has not called the office. It's unusual for him. I don't know where he's at. And so I think that because Mrs. Gonzalez is asking for sole managing and we're asking for the standard visitation orders, I think we may either need to mediate this case or set it down for a trial.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, do you understand the difference between sole managing conservatorship and joint managing conservatorship?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. And I did want to inquire that I'm not sure if the attorney is aware that we do have a child support case open and we do have visitations.
Okay, so then,
Well-
did the AG's office intervene on this? Ms. Hernandez, you happen to be present. Sorry to throw you in here if you can hear me. Do
I
you?
didn't catch the cause number, Judge. I stepped away.
Okay, it's F-4741-20-9. Ms. Gonzalez, which is the petitioner in this divorce, is stating that there is already a child support and possession, visitation, and access order that has been worked out through your office.
It's one, I'm not, 4741, I'm guessing it's probably a different cause number because I'm not pulling up anything under this one.
Okay, if there is a different cause number, then it does need to be consolidated. Do you have a cause number, Ms. Gonzalez?
I do not have it with me at the moment, but Your Honor, I did go to court prior to when Gerardo was incarcerated. We did have a child support, an attorney general court hearing, and it still remains open. But my concern is the visitations with my son due to safety reasons.
So, yes, but now you're gonna have some procedural issues.
Yes, ma'am.
So now that you're letting the court know and Mr. Trevino know that there's already an order that has been filed, then now you have to consolidate it. The issue with you being a pro se petitioner is that it's on you to file the motion to consolidate. And it's also on you to communicate that with Mr. Trevino. So you do need to get the cause number if you have that paperwork at home so that you can convey that information to Mr. Trevino's office. And then you're also going to have to start CCing the Attorney General's office so that they can decide whether or not they're going to file an intervention with this.
Okay.
Let me ask you, Mr. Trevino, or let me ask Mr. Trevino, do you have good contact information for Ms. Gonzalez?
Well, we have the phone number. We tried contacting her yesterday afternoon, Judge, and we didn't get any feedback or we didn't get a return call. So I don't know if our number is good or not.
Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, let me have a phone number where you can be reached.
Yes, ma'am. It's a 956-800-0290. They do have access to my email because that's how I got e-filed.
Okay, what is your email?
It is Melissa JD82@gmail.com. I also wanted to inquire that I have no contact information from Gerardo, for
Okay.
Gerardo.
So once you get the cause number for your original cause of action with the Attorney General's office, email that to Mr. Trevino's office. Then they will respond with Mr. Gonzalez's contact information and give that to you, okay?
Okay.
Then you will need to find out how to file your motion to consolidate because those two causes of action have to be merged to one because they both deal with your son, okay?
Correct. Mhm.
And then if you're gonna have, then you're gonna get down to the nitty gritty of what kind of visitation, possession, and access you all will be agreeing to. So that's where mediation does come into play. And I am gonna order you all to attend mediation within the next 30 days with attorney Cynthia Cantu del Bosque. And then I'm gonna have y'all return and I'm gonna set it for a status.
Okay.
I'm I'm gonna have y'all return on August the 23rd at 9:30. And that'll be for a status hearing to see if the motion to consolidate has been filed. And if it has, we'll take that issue up so I can consolidate them. And then I'm gonna see whether you all mediated or not and what happened at mediation. And then we're gonna see what the next step is as to what do we need to do to finalize it, okay?
Okay,
Your Honor,
all right.
Yes.
I do,
if I
Ms.
may,
Rivera, go ahead.
yes, ma'am, I did find the child support case on Odyssey.
Okay. Mrs. Hernandez, are you there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Rivera, can you give us the cause number?
Yes, ma'am. It's F482817C. I do see here that Judge Nereda Singletary filed the non-suit filed by the AG's office, January 24th, 2020.
Okay. So then your motion to consolidate is moot. That, in that case that you had originally opened, that has been non-suited and the order has already been signed. And it's been more than 30 days. So this is the only open case that you all have. Okay, Ms. Gonzalez, did you hear that?
that this is the only case that we have? I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am. Because
That-
the non-suit was filed in the original cause of action.
Was that 4028?
The cause of act, the other one was F-4828-17-C.
It could be that that one was non-suited and they went after that to get another order. So she might still have something open.
Do you see anything open on your end? Because we don't on ours.
I'm gonna take a look.
Okay.
Can I ask, what does this mean? I'm sorry.
She's going to verify whether or not it's closed. So once she sees that, then I can tell you.
Okay, thank you.
Miss Williamson, could you check your chat, please?
Sorry, let me see.
No problem.
I'm not seeing any open cases.
Okay. So Ms. Gonzalez, what that means is that this is the only case that you have pending. Whatever was happening in child support court or in the Title IV court, it was concluded with a non-suit. So that means that action had never been taken. So now you're just dealing with this. You don't have to do a motion to consolidate. But I am ordering you to go to mediation with Attorney Cynthia Cantu del Bosque. You'll receive an order with the information. Now, Mr. Trevino's office wants to be proactive in getting that scheduled. Just answer their call so that they can work with your calendar and you all can get that scheduled. You don't have to wait for the court's order.
And we'll do that, Judge, provided she contact us.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and have you all come back for a status hearing on August the 23rd at 9:30 a.m.
I do have, Your Honor, excuse me, if I may.
Yes.
I do have a concern. This is our second time that we come on here, and this is the second time that he doesn't present himself. He is aware of his court hearings.
Yes. And Mr. Trevino stated that for whatever reason, he has not contacted him, but Mr. Trevino is the representative for Mr. Gonzalez. And for purposes of today's hearing, for what needed to be announced, it was really only the attorney that needed to have announced on his behalf. So I won't need him here unless he's going to testify. And at this point, what I'm ordering is mediation, and his attorney can go ahead and let him know that he is ordered to mediate. So my concern is where we're at with respect to your son as far as child support is concerned and visitation, possession, and access. Because I'm sure we're going to be dealing with retroactive support and all of those things. And so those are the things that I'm concerned about. As to what, you know, when are we going to start receiving some of that child support for you, for your son? So go ahead and make sure that you respond to them because you're held to the standard of an attorney. And so communication will be key. Okay.
Okay, so I have to communicate with his attorney?
And because you all are going to set up the date for mediation with attorney Cynthia Cantu del Bosque.
Okay.
So see what dates y'all are available within the next 30 days. And then you all need to communicate with attorney Cynthia Cantu del Bosque so that you can get that scheduled.
Okay. And once we do that, how many times do we have to go with Ms. Bosques?
Once.
Once? Okay.
A good faith effort. You do have,
Okay.
the parties are ordered to make a good faith effort. So I'm going to check how y'all are doing on the 23rd. And Mr.
Okay.
Trevino, please have your client on at that time because if you didn't agree to anything, I'm sure we'll have a contested hearing.
Yes, Your Honor, we will.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. May I be dismissed?
Yes, you may be.
Excused.
Thank you. Mhm.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. Okay, Ms. Williamson, I was going to recall your case this afternoon at 2. So if it's going to be a contested matter, so I can give you the time that you need.
Yes, Your Honor, 2 o'clock. I have a court-ordered mediation already that they scheduled for us with Edna starting at 1:30. Is there any way I can get any other date other than this afternoon?
What would be the next? I'm afraid that it might push you to August, Ms. Williamson. That's
fine, Your Honor. We've been waiting since 2019. Maybe he'll pay.
And I'm like, for the record and for YouTube's record, not with me since 2019.
No, not with you, Your Honor. Not at all.
Judge, is there any way I can make an arrangement with a lawyer and it would go a lot faster?
Always. You know, talking
Because
with them is always encouraged.
I've tried to make an arrangement with my ex-wife and I haven't been able.
You'll convey that information to Ms. Williamson, but Ms. Williamson is bound by what her client.
Exactly. I understand.
So all she can do is just relay the information,
I
talk
understand.
to her about her options. So that's Ms. Williamson's job in advocating for her client. So what I can do is I'm going to give you another date, but between now and then, I'm going to encourage you to reach out to Ms. Williamson. So
That'd be
Ms.
great.
Rivera, when would we be able to schedule them? Either at 11 or at 2? Actually, it would have to be September 1st at 2.
No problem, Your Honor.
Okay, so that gives you plenty of time. I appreciate your patience. So it'll be September 1st at 2 p.m.
And Your Honor, if I can just, because I know I have a number for Mr. Martinez, but it never picks up. So if he could just give me his phone number and email.
That would be 956 222 8292.
Okay, yeah, that is the one I have. And his email?
And your email?
That would be Sergio 7 days at yahoo.com.
I'm sorry, you cut off. Sergio what?
7 days at yahoo.com.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll try to communicate with him by tomorrow or before the end of the week, Your Honor.
Yes, or can I have your number also?
Yes, it's area code 956-259-8120.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. And we also have Ms. Hernandez waiting for us with us, so.
Okay, Ms. Hernandez, we're going to return on this on September 1st at 2 p.m.
Yes, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you so much for your help on the other cases. I know that we just kind of surprised you on those.
Anytime, Judge. I'm always here. Thanks.
Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, y'all take care. Okay, Miss Miriam Moreno, before we take up the other ones. Ms. Moreno, we were pending on F 4700-20-9. We were pending your DPS clearance.
Yes, I have submitted all the paperwork, but it seems like I called the office and you haven't received it.
Okay, let me double check. Ms. Rivera, can you pull up her case?
That's correct, Your Honor. We have not received it.
Okay, but Ms. Moreno, did you e-file it with the clerk or go in person to file it with the clerk?
It was the fingerprints, so I had sent it to Austin.
Okay.
And I sent it with my file.
Okay, but if the issue becomes if Austin needs to have the address to send it back to you so that you e-file it. Did they have your address or did you put the court's address?
So when I emailed it, I mailed it to them, it had my address, but then it also says to submit the file. So on the file, it has your court number and I think it has my case number too.
Oh. Okay, well, since we're working remote, we would have to see if by chance they sent it to our office mail. So we'll check our office mail. If they did, you will need to make arrangements to have that picked up because you have to file it yourself with the clerk, okay? So I'm gonna we'll go ahead and look for that. And so I know you've been really patient, but unfortunately, those are the hoops that you have to go through. And perhaps they sent it to me instead of to you. Okay. So we're going to check. I'm going to have you come back on August the 30th at 9:30 and let's see if I've gotten it by then. Okay.
Okay. If anything, do I just call your office?
Try to call the office about 2 weeks before and see if we've received it. Okay. Now let me give you a little tip. When you come back on the 30th, if you're ready to go, or if for some reason you know you're not, use your reaction button to raise your hand so that I can call you up at the beginning. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want you to have to wait that long for just a quick announcement. That's what we call a quick announcement. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I appreciate your patience.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Okay. So let's go back to F 13-14-20-9 in the matter of the marriage of Carrie Villarreal versus Mario Flores.
When that was for Mr. Flores, Your Honor.
Okay, were you able to reach your client, Mr. Alvarez?
I did, Your Honor. I spoke to him as soon as I just muted my device and I asked him to log back on. He said, I should be logged on. And I said, can you just log on and make sure that you're logged on? And I'm assuming that, I don't know, maybe he's having technical issues, but I did speak to him.
I don't have anybody in my waiting room. So, okay, who are you all ordered to mediate with?
Judge, we were originally ordered to mediate with Melinda Diaz. However, she did not do Zoom mediations. And at that time, there were still concerns with the vaccines. So Ms. Cedillo did offer Zoom mediations so that we went ahead and proceeded with Ms. Cedillo. Both attempts were with Ms. Cedillo.
Okay.
She's awaiting for a third attempt.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I can bring him on and berate him about, being on vacation and things of that nature, but I also take the word of the attorneys as their word. And Mr. Alvarez, as an officer of the court, is stating that the rescheduling was done at his behest and request because he was on a flight. Now, does it look poorly that on the same time Mr. Flores chose to be in Cancun with his paramour? Well, of course it does. It does reflect poorly, but it doesn't mean that he went and made his attorney cancel for that reason. As you know, I believe Mr. Alvarez, just like I would believe Mr. Palacios or any attorney that would come before me, because I hold all attorneys and with very high regard, and I know that they have a high ethical standard, and so I take them at their word. So I'm going to take Mr. Alvarez at his word, and that this was done, this rescheduling or canceling was done because of his conflict. Now, the next mediation needs to occur within the next 30 days. That is the order of the court with no cancellations. So make sure that when you all pick a date within the next 30 days, that it's a solid and firm date where you all can give attention to the matter and give attention of your time so that you spend the time and be there in good faith, okay? So I suspect that Mr. Alvarez will have that conversation with Mr. Flores, that he makes sure that he clear his schedule so that he is available and he is able to give attention to this. So contact Ms. Cedillo so that you all can go ahead and mediate this within the next 30 days, or I am gonna have y'all come back. And are you mediating for final or are you mediating for temp orders?
Final, Your Honor.
Your final, Your Honor.
Final, Judge. And I know we can resolve it, Judge, because my client is just requesting visits and we just got to figure out the property. So it will get, it should get resolved in mediation. And it's very good at it, so.
Okay, so August the 16th at 9:30 a.m. And that'll be for final and prove up.
Thank you, Judge.
Right.
So I appreciate
Your
your patience. Ms. Villarreal, thank you for being patient. I know you were on since the beginning. So, but at least you got to see a little bit of how this court works, okay?
Yes, thank you, Your
Okay.
Honor.
So y'all have a great day.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.
Y'all may receive, Judge.
You certainly may.
Thank you. I'll be safe.
Okay, the ones that I have pending, have we heard on number 13 on the court's docket, F-1906-21-9, and Ray Elizabeth Angeles Chio. We did not hear anyone. Go ahead and set that for the drop docket.
Yes, ma'am.
We have Ms. Flores and Mr. Ramos returning. I'm sorry, I missed putting that. Did I have them come back on the 16th or the 23rd?
The 16th at 11 a.m., Your Honor.
Okay. Okay, so on number 19, nobody appeared. Were they doing, and did they finally get to you all as to clarification of a non-suit or what?
Judge, that's the one where they filed a Rule 11, but not the order resetting, since they didn't need the hearing for what they were originally set for. I did speak with Ms. Warshaw. She said that they would get with Mr. McAllen to see if they could go ahead and just file the dismissal on it. And that they were supposed either file a dismissal or file an order resetting, which when we started court, they had not filed it yet.
Okay, we'll set a tickler for July 23rd. Okay, and on number 21 on the court's docket, EL 171814-I.
There's an order of dismissal in the queue, Judge.
Okay. Number 27, I just reset her to August the 30th?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and number 34, they requested an extension?
34, yes, ma'am. I didn't give a date, but the order sitting hearing should be filed and I would reset that, Your Honor.
Okay, just go ahead and keep an eye on that one.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and on number 35?
I don't have anything, Your Honor. There were no emails provided.
Neither do I, Judge.
Rivera Duque yesterday. She did provide her email and it was forwarded to her from my email.
Okay, then go ahead and just send it for the drop target. Okay, and number 38.
Judge, they filed a Rule 11 and an order resetting on that. We reset them for September the 8th at 9:30.
Okay, then that concludes this morning's docket.